What's going on, guys? This is the Talking Sports Podcast with Adam and Alec. This is episode 21. I hope you watched our video of last week as we did a Rams Super Bowl preview with Coach Bearkoff, who is a huge diehard Rams fan. And we got another special guest on this week. My great friend Riley Summers is on tonight, a diehard Bengals fan. We've grown up together, and this man is the biggest Bengals fan I know. So Riley, thank you for coming on. It's great to have you on tonight.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on.
Yeah. First off, I got to say, is Who Day, right?
Yes.
How are you feeling, man?
Great. I mean, beginning of the season, I was questioning if my team would ever make it to a championship. And then what a football season it's been. The Bearcats going to the playoffs, OSU choking, but doing good, although Baylor killed them. And the Bengals going to the Super Bowl. So it's been wild. I mean, my teams are always underdogs. So here we are.
It's been a truly unbelievable season for Cincinnati fans.
Oh, yeah. Especially since it's been a lot of the fans now, they weren't even born when we won our last playoff game. So,
yeah.
Yep.
So kind of to give you guys a little talk about what we're going to be talking about in this episode, we're going to first talk about the Bengals last season, and then we're going to use that to transition into this season, talk about the great season the Bengals had, talk about some key games. We'll break down the playoffs, and then we're going to talk about the matchup with the Rams on Sunday night. So to get started, last year, obviously a rough season for Cincinnati, going 4-11-1, and a lot of Bengals fans weren't too happy with Zach Taylor, I would say. How did you feel about Zach last year?
Well, I saw his Super Bowl performance with the Rams, barely doing anything with the quarterback that he was supposed to be coaching. And he comes to the Bengals and has I think it was 6-26 record over the first two seasons. So, I mean, I was ready. I was thinking this was going to be his last year, this one right here. But we have Joe Burrow getting hurt to blame for last season because we didn't get off to a bad start until he got hurt. So there really was no way to tell if Zach Taylor was going to be good or not. But I don't know. I just thought with him never being a head coach, I didn't really think he was going to push the Bengals this far within season 3. So, yep.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of Cincinnati fans felt that way. Zach Taylor, which we'll talk about later in the episode, but he coached under McVay, like you were saying, with the Rams, which McVay is a great coach. And now we're seeing how good a coach Zach Taylor is becoming.
Yep.
But the big struggles was without Burrow last year. So coming into this season, I know we talked before the season, and you gave me a bold prediction back in the summer, and I thought you were crazy. You told me the Bengals were going to win the division, and you told me obviously they were going to make playoffs. And I said, I honestly laughed at you.
Oh yeah, all y'all did. Yep.
Yeah.
And I said we would win our first playoff game. So yeah.
Since what year? 90, 80,
92?
88, something like that.
89 or 92, one of the two. I wasn't alive, so.
Yeah. So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Alec, you got anything about, I guess, how the Bengals have done this year?
So I guess we'll talk about the draft a little bit, which is my main thing. When they took Jamar Chase first round instead of a lineman, what was your initial reaction? I mean, looking back now, obviously picked the right player, but in the moment, what was your feelings?
Oh, I mean, I was glad, honestly. I knew it was stupid, but being stupid is how the Bengals are going to have a big turnaround. So I was pumped. I mean, the chemistry between Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase was already there. So I knew something was going to happen with our offense this year. I was worried about the O-line, and I still am. But I think it was a good pick for this year. I was thinking that this year we weren't going to do that well. But since we have Jamar Chase, next draft we can hit the O-line big time. But, of course, now we're in the Super Bowl. So, but, yeah, I mean, I was really glad whenever we did it. It was a bold thing to do.
It definitely turned out to be one of the best picks in the draft, drafting Jamar Chase.
Yeah, no, it was. And did y'all think that was going to happen?
Talking about the chemistry him and Burrow have together and how they just destroyed everyone in college. Like why not put him on the same NFL team
Why
and let's
not?
see what happens. And here we are.
Do you think Zach Taylor had a lot to do with that, or you think it was mainly Joe Burrow?
I'm pretty sure Joe Burrow was talking in his ear.
Yeah.
He had to have been.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's worked out great for us, like really great. Jamar Chase, just wait for a Super Bowl. Yep.
Yeah. We'll get more into that matchup with him against Ramsey here when we break down the Super Bowl. But a great season. Y'all going 10-7, winning the AFC North for the first time since 2015. Honestly, winning the division, I know you were excited about that, but was that like your ceiling, or were you thinking, oh no, we can go all the way?
When we won the division, I'm like, all right, I'm satisfied. We're not a Super Bowl team. I'm hoping that we get one playoff win, and then I'm good from there. So no, I mean, I wasn't. Super Bowl was not on my mind until we beat the Chiefs. Even playing against the Chiefs, I didn't really think we were going to win. So yeah, I mean, I've just been thinking it game by game, but somehow that's led us here. But no, I mean, did anyone really think that we're a Super Bowl team? Are we a Super Bowl team in your mind?
I did not think so, honestly.
Nope. The O-line, the defense was and but we've had a very hard schedule this year compared to a lot of teams. So to make it where we did, it showed a lot.
Yeah, speaking about y'all's schedule, I was looking through back this whole past season, and there were 9 games. This doesn't count playoffs because there's more in the playoffs, but there were 9 games decided by 6 or less points, and 4 of those games y'all won. So you won 4 of them and lost 5. But 9 games decided by a touchdown or less. Y'all were in a ton of close games this season.
I think the worst one to watch was the Green Bay one, because we could have had that. We could have the 49ers too easily, but we blew those games. But the fact that we were so close just shows that this Bengals team is completely different than we used to be.
Yeah. And then it's the NFL. Anyone can beat anyone on any Sunday.
Jets.
Yeah. You probably don't want to talk about it, but you lost to Mike White and the Jets.
And Chicago.
Yes, Chicago.
I don't know how that happens. Yeah,
anyone can win.
I was giving up hope when we lost the second one. I mean, lose to Chicago and the Jets. I'm like, yeah, we're not going to make it that far. But then we beat the Ravens. That was a wild day for me. That was crazy.
So Alec, I know you've been you've been picking the Bengals this whole postseason. Did you really believe in the Bengals during the season, or was this kind of just a spark from the playoffs because of your man Joe Shiesty?
It's kind of the playoffs because during the season I don't have a designated team to cheer for. I just like a lot of players in the NFL. So during the season, I'd watch them, but I wasn't too invested in them. And then the playoff bracket shows up and Cincinnati could do something. So ever since the playoffs started, I've kind of been on that little bandwagon, and I've been picking them every week, even when it wasn't a smart pick, but hopefully,
I mean, Cincinnati hasn't done much to many teams in the past, so it's not like we have many haters right now.
That's true. And everyone was rooting for y'all to beat the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll be one to admit, I did not believe in y'all throughout. I mean, the season, I'm like, okay, they're a good team, but it's the Bengals. They always find a way to lose games and to mess up in the playoffs. Like you said, hadn't won a playoff game since '88, I think the year was. So none of us have seen the Bengals win a playoff game. So it was really special, I'm sure, for you to see your team finally win a playoff game.
It's been very emotional. Raiders, I thought we were actually going to blow that towards the end.
Yeah.
And then Titans, whenever they started driving on the last drive. I thought we were actually about to blow this. And with the Chiefs, I mean, they won the coin toss, so that says enough. So I mean, it's been a lot to overcome, just defensive wise, the past 3 games.
But I will say, to give credit to your defense, they've made the plays that they've needed to play to win games.
Oh yeah, yep.
It hasn't always looked perfect for the whole 4 quarters, but they find a way to make plays when it matters, and that has helped them win all these games.
And it's crazy because of how young our defense is. They aren't really experienced against all these good players, and yet they're finding a way. And I think the coaches have a lot to blame whenever it comes to that matter also, especially with that Chiefs game. I don't think it was just the players turning the game around. I think the coaches had the majority to do with that.
Yeah, so that kind of wrapped up the season. Obviously, winning the division. You beat the Steelers both times, which that's the first time that's happened in a while, I'm pretty sure. That first Chiefs game, it was week 16, I think. That was a memorable game and a key game to y'all's success to start getting rolling into the playoffs.
It also helped us to see that there's no way we're going to beat the Chiefs twice.
So you thought?
Yes. So everyone thought.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Any other comments about the regular season for the Bengals?
It's been crazy.
Looking at the schedule, would you say the 2 losses that upset you the most were the Cleveland Browns both times?
All right. I was thinking that literally right before you said that. So yes, the first Cleveland Browns loss upset me. And the second one was completely funny because the Cleveland Browns have gone nowhere in their past few years, and we were using our backup QB. So, I mean, of course they had to win, but at least we were going to the playoffs, unlike them. So, but no, the first Cleveland Browns loss and the Green Bay loss were probably the worst 2 losses all season.
But hey, no more looking at those losses. You're sitting in Super Bowl 56, right?
Yeah, Green Bay or 49ers aren't there, so.
Yeah. All right, so now we'll transition into the playoff games. First up was Wild Card Weekend. Y'all hosted the Raiders, which was a great game. It was a defensive battle, low scoring, pretty much till the end of the second half. There's a lot of stuff that you can talk about this game. The controversial whistle or whatever. Everyone thought Burrow stepped out of bounds, but he really didn't. They blew the whistle, but he wasn't out of bounds. And then the touchdown in the end zone, that makes Raiders fans mad, and they blame that on the loss.
I mean, I think we would have scored anyways if we would have replayed that down. So, I mean, I think the game would have had the exact same outcome. I could care less if they're mad about it or not.
Yeah.
Of course, it was stupid by the refs to call the whistle dead, but yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say about that. It is pretty stupid. The refs that game just sucked. They were pretty bad.
And y'all ended up winning the game 26-19, the first playoff win since 1988. You think of the interception. Like you said, you were starting to lose hope. The Raiders were driving, and then the interception thrown.
Yep. I mean, we've done it before in the past with our last playoff game against the Steelers, so it would make sense if that happened again. But this is a new team. There's no Dalton. There's no Perfect. We're looking at a whole new stage here.
Yeah. Alec, did you have the Bengals? I'm trying to remember. Did you have the Bengals winning this game back in our predictions?
Against the Titans?
Yeah, the Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders. Yeah, I picked the Bengals against the Raiders because it was a home field advantage.
Yeah. Well, that game was great, as well as Super Wild Card Weekend across the whole NFL was amazing. Definitely one to remember. Great games. Every game was close. and just fun games to watch. Then we skip forward to divisional weekend. You go on the road to the number 1 seed Titans. Tell me how you were feeling before this game.
Nope. I literally kickoff. You know that feeling you get the last minute of a game, close game. I felt that right as soon as the ball kicked off. I'm like, shoot, we really just lost this. I don't know. There's something about the Titans that were very intimidating, but we got through it, and it makes the win so much better. I didn't think we could do it with Henry being back and our O-line being terrible, and yet 9 sacks later, we still came out with the win, and Tannehill came out with the loss.
It was a rough game for Tannehill, throwing 3 interceptions. He did not look comfortable. Y'all's defense did a great job in that game to get pressure on him and make him make bad throws. Like you said, we kind of saw the first, maybe not the first time, but the O-line giving you a big scare, giving up 9 sacks. In my opinion, I did not think, after I saw like the 5th sack, I did not think Burrow was going to make it out of that game without an injury.
And he was limping. But nothing happened to him. So.
And then Shooter McPherson, the famous, your favorite kicker, hits the game-winning field goal to send you to the AFC Championship. And now at this point, you're just in disbelief, right? I mean, you're going to the AFC Championship.
Yep. I didn't think we would make it that far. I had a feeling we'd beat the Raiders, but Titans no. And then I was hoping we'd play the Bills in the AFC Championship game because once again I doubted us with the Chiefs. But I mean, I can't believe that we made it that far, especially with all these other AFC teams that were being hyped all season that probably should have made it too, but they didn't. And then my team, the 6-26 Bengals, made it. So, yep.
I guess I'll say one last thing about that divisional game against the Titans. Me and Alec, the podcast before, we did like a preview, and we were thinking Derrick Henry was going to go off, and I honestly didn't think y'all were going to be able to stop him, and it really surprised me. I don't know about you, Alec, but it really surprised me that they were able to stop Henry, and come away with the win that game because I thought Henry was going to go off.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts about the divisional game?
Money man.
You good? All right, now we go to the AFC Championship game, which was almost 2 weeks ago now. Bengals versus Chiefs. The game is in Arrowhead. You're the underdogs again. Surely there's no way you're going to go into Arrowhead and win this game, right?
No way. I mean, underdogs 3 times in a row. There's no way that we're going to be able to beat them in Kansas City, especially with these fans. But Joe Burrow, he said that these fans will not bother him at all because he was in the SEC. And it didn't really look like they bothered him much. Our defense was great in the second half. A lot of stuff changed for that to happen after that horrible first half that we had, that everyone was giving up hope that we were going to win. So it was a very up and down game on the first half. And the second half just, yep.
It was a great game for sure. Obviously going into overtime. Man, Joe Burrow just played amazing this game. And I will tell you, there was one person besides you, obviously, the one person on this podcast who picked the Bengals to win that game, and it was not me, it was Alec.
Yeah.
He started believing in y'all, and he's been a fan ever since.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of people going for the underdogs right now, so especially with LA and the Bengals being in both underdogs, it's pretty nice.
So the Chiefs won the coin toss.
Oh, it's over.
Again, back-to-back weeks. We all think it's over, right? The Chiefs have won this game. Yeah. Yeah, we did. And then what was it? 13 seconds into the game, they needed 13 seconds a week before to beat the Bills or to tie the Bills to force overtime. And 13 seconds into overtime, Mahomes throws an interception.
Yep. That was crazy. I mean, I went wild on that interception because, I mean, it was a very, but I kind of went into overtime with hope. I thought we were going to lose because of the coin toss, but I still had this weird feeling that we were going to pull it off, prove the world wrong. So Mahomes just didn't look that good. The Chiefs fans say that it's all Mahomes in the second half, that it was no one else messing them up. What do y'all think about that?
Alec?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Do you think in the second half of the Chiefs game that it was all Patrick Mahomes, or do you think other players were messing them up too?
I'll be honest, I was on the golf course with my dad during this game, so I'm not too sure what happened in the second half.
Hey, golfing is great. So,
I think y'all made some great adjustments at halftime, to get more pressure on Mahomes. It just seemed like they weren't all there the second half. I don't know if they already had their mind 2 weeks down the road with the big halftime lead, thinking they were going to ease into the Super Bowl. But one big play that I really think helped y'all win the game, and if you didn't make this play, the game would have been over, was the stop right before halftime.
Yep. No,
there
I agree.
Was 3 seconds left, if I remember right, 5 seconds left. The ball gets thrown on the 1 yard line. You tackle them on the 1 yard line. Chiefs don't have any timeouts. Time runs out.
That was crazy. I felt like we won the game right there. That was a very big turnaround after that rough first half. I mean, it was horrible watching that first half. Every single drive, we just get killed, and we'd barely do anything on offense. And then suddenly we stopped them at the 1. And it was crazy. It really was.
And that made the score 21-10. It very well could have been 28-10 going into the break. And with that score, you think the game's probably over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we could have came back from 28-10, especially with Mahomes having the momentum, just scoring right before half and getting the ball back.
A standout player that I thought from this game was T. Higgins. He had 6 catches for 103 yards. Everyone talks about Chase, but you can't forget about Higgins. You can't forget about Boyd. Those guys are making plays left and right, just like Chase.
Oh, yeah. Higgins did drop a lot in the past playoff games, but this game he went off in the second half. There was a really big play towards the beginning of the second half that made Bengals fans' offense have hope. So Joe Burrow was ready to go, and you could just see it from their starting performance.
And also Mixon. We haven't even talked about Mixon this whole podcast, but Mixon's had an incredible season.
Mm-hmm. Yep. People are saying that he's a real knockout player right now. Yep. But no, I mean, Mixon, I'm glad we drafted him. He's really been a goal setter for the Bengals. He's been pushing the Bengals to be better even before Burrow was there. He's really tried to change the tide of the whole organization. So I give him credit for that. And his playing, of course, is great. And I think it was
Go ahead.
I think it was it was December 13th, I think. Joe Mixon said, I won't be playing in the Pro Bowl because the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. And it shows you the confidence those guys have in that locker room.
Yep.
Not just now, but they've had it the whole season. Even when things got rough, you lose to the Jets, but then you beat the Chiefs at the end of the season. But they just stayed steady and they kept believing in themselves, and here they are sitting in the Super Bowl.
And the players have given a lot of credit to Taylor for all that. They really do like him.
Yeah. and your whole city is falling in love with the jersey you're wearing right now,
Oh
and
yeah,
who's behind Alec right now,
I
Joe
think a lot
Burrow.
of the world is. There's a lot of Joe Burrow fans that have nothing to do with LSU and the Bengals now. He's got a lot of followers, so he's very likable in a football sense.
So I guess as we wrap up the playoffs here, I want to ask y'all, both of y'all can answer this. What was the most surprising part of this playoff run so far for the Bengals?
Stopping Kansas City in overtime.
Yep. I agree with that 100%. I think the second most surprising was stopping Henry.
I think those are the two top ones that I can think of right now. And just the whole thing. It's been surprising to me the whole way. As y'all been underdogs, I guess you weren't underdogs against the Raiders, but pretty much every other game.
We were underdogs.
You think so?
Yeah. It wasn't by much compared to the Titans or the Chiefs, but ESPN did have us as underdogs.
So now we head to Super Bowl 56, which is coming up this Sunday, February 13th. The game will be played in SoFi Stadium, which is the Rams' home stadium. In the last 2 years, last year the Bucs, now the Rams have hosted the Super Bowl. So that's kind of crazy to think that now we've had back-to-back seasons with teams hosting the Super Bowl. Y'all have any thoughts on that?
Well, I think it'll completely change next year, as I think the Cardinals are hosting it, and I don't think the Cardinals are going to go to the Super Bowl next year.
I think last year it was kind of a home field advantage for Tampa. I don't see that being the case this year because there's so much going on with the Rams fans not buying the tickets. There are more 49er fans in the seats than there were Rams fans. So honestly, this is probably more of a home field game for Cincinnati with how many fans they have going up around the country right now.
I agree. The Rams fan base is very small compared to a lot of other NFL teams, which I'd never even realized until just this week. But the question is, are the Bengals fans actually going to pay to go to LA, or are they going to watch it in their hometown that's eventually going to blow up if we win?
Well, it's kind of outrageous. The cheapest ticket is around $6,200.
Everyone would be going.
Yeah.
Tons of Bengals fans would be going.
Yeah. So, how are you feeling about this Super Bowl? Are you confident? Are you nervous, worried, excited, all the above? How are you feeling as a Bengals fan?
I'm excited. I think it'll be a really good game. A
few words.
I can explain it over time,
No, you're good, man. You're good. Alec, you got any thoughts headed into the Super Bowl?
Like I said last week, on paper, LA is the better team, but by performance, you kind of lean towards the Bengals because of what they've gone through this postseason. What's 3 keys that you think Cincinnati's got to have to win this, I guess, this Sunday now?
We're going to have to confuse Stafford. We're going to have to get him wondering where this Bengals defense came from. Because, they have great wide receivers. So, and I don't see our defense being able to one-on-one coverage those wide receivers. So if we handle the situation before the ball gets into the receiver's hands, I think that'll help us out. Jamar Chase and Higgins and Boyd and Uzama, all of our receiving core needs to go off. Less drop passes than we've had the past few weeks, and no interceptions, hopefully all game by Burrow. I don't think I need to worry about special teams. So also Mixon. If we can get Mixon's run game going off, I think the road will be shocked close to the beginning of the game.
Yeah. you talked about Uzama. He announced last night at like the Bengals rally. It was like this big dramatic thing. He took off his knee brace and threw it to midfield, and then he said he was playing, right, or something like that.
Mhm.
He said he wasn't going to miss the biggest game of his life, and I don't blame him, man. You're in the Super Bowl. Play through it.
Yeah, I mean, no one really knows if he's still hurt or not, but if I was in his situation, I would play too. I'm not about to not play just because I'm hurt, This is Super Bowl. So it was great watching that, him throw off the cast. It's just
I agree.
sorry,
I
go
agree
on.
with what you said, Alec, about how if you look at this game on paper, you're going to pick the Rams as the clear favorite. But if you look at the true teams and if you've watched the Bengals, you've watched them this playoffs, they've got that just exciting feeling about them. They're that team that you don't want to see. And here we are, the Rams and Bengals. They're really exciting, always the underdog, going into the Super Bowl as the underdogs once again. So I think it's going to be a really fun game to watch. My worries for the Bengals is the offensive line. And how will they hold up? They're going to go against Aaron Donald, who is the best player in football. And then on the same defensive line, you got Von Miller. Two guys who are absolute studs and want to destroy Joe Burrow.
Mhm.
So how do you think the O-line is going to hold up? Do you think they're coaching-wise or player-wise? What needs to happen for the O-line to be successful on Sunday?
Well, we didn't do too bad against the Chiefs, but we definitely do need to hold up if we can't have Burrow get hurt. So I just prefer him to not get hit that many times. Of course, if they start blitzing, which, I mean, honestly, you don't even need a blitz against the Bengals to get past their O-line. But if they start blitzing, I think Burrow's going to be 100% confident throwing it to one-on-one coverage, and we're going to make big plays. So I think that's going to stop the Rams from blitzing a lot. So if we can just hold up on other plays, then I think we won't be too bad. I definitely don't think this is going to be a Tennessee Bengals performance. I think we're going to get sacked 3 to 4 times all game, which is a low number, bold prediction, but 3 to 4 times.
See, my prediction is Aaron Donald alone is going to have 3-4 sacks.
Well, maybe I'll come by him.
Yeah.
But no, I am definitely nervous, mainly about Donald. I think if Miller starts blitzing, he can get to Burrow, but we're going to throw to our great wide receiver, Chase. So, yep.
And I think that's something that could benefit y'all is quick game. So just quick passes, screens, quick routes to the flat, just getting the ball out of Burrow's hands before the pressure gets there and getting the ball to your best player, Jamar Chase, and the other receivers, honestly, like you said.
We've seen them do that this season, and it's worked. It's worked a lot, especially using Mixon as well with that. So if we do that, it's going to be a game changer.
So now we talked about the offense a little bit and the O-line. So now about the defense. What are y'all's feelings about the Bengals defense? Will they be able to stop Stafford, Kupp, Odell? Will the run game work? Will they be able to stop the run? What are your thoughts on the Bengals defense headed into the Super Bowl?
He can go first.
Oh, you got it. You're the Bengals guy.
I think we if we can slow down their wide receivers, we got it. I think Stafford will have 2 interceptions, which will be a big loss for them. I don't think Stafford knows what's coming for him. Our defense might not be A+. Our defense is a lot of rookies compared to their veteran core, which is exactly why I think we're going to shock them with our defense. The run game, I mean, we slowed down Henry, so we can slow down the Rams running back.
Akers.
Yep.
Come on, Riley, do your homework. Alec, how do you think the Bengals defense is going to hold up?
One thing you said last week was they're obviously going to double team Cooper Kupp, which is going to leave OBJ man on man. if you're able to contain OBJ with that single coverage, they should be okay. But it's also not letting Cooper Kupp get out up top like they did against Tampa Bay. So double team and contain Kupp, and then just don't allow OBJ to get huge chunk plays, and they should be okay.
What's really tough for this game, you don't want to sit back and drop 7 or 8 every single play, because then Stafford will have all day to throw in the pocket. So you want to throw in blitzes, but the thing is, Stafford and the Rams are really good against the blitz, as we saw in that Buccaneers game. That last play, they blitzed, burned them over the top with Kupp. And then, Alec, like you said, when you get man-to-man coverage, you roll the coverage, you double Cooper Kupp, leaves Odell open, who Odell wins one-on-one 90% of the time, I would say. So I think that's a big key for y'all, is finding ways to tie in blitzes and get pressure on Stafford, and being able to contain Kupp. And Kupp's going to get his yards. He's going to have a 100-yard game probably. When is he not this season? But trying to contain him and limit OBJ. If y'all do that, y'all are going to be in a great shot to win this game, I think.
I think if Stafford gets the ball out, OBJ and Kupp might get a lot of yards after catch. So we really need to try to contain Stafford first while showing good coverage.
And now, the big part of this game, I feel like the big showcase, is Jamar Chase versus Jalen Ramsey. Two of the best guys in their position. Ramsey's obviously the best corner in the game right now. Jamar Chase is just a rookie, but 5 years from now, we could be saying Jamar Chase is the best receiver in the league. He's one of the best right now. Man, I don't even know what to expect. I think it's going to be a great matchup. I don't know who wins. I don't know. We'll see in the game. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Jamar Chase, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Wow. Bold statement.
I don't even have much to say. I think Ramsey's going down. I think Chase will win easily.
Chase has won this whole season, but the one thing, I do not think he's seen a corner at the level that Jalen Ramsey is on yet. So time will tell. We'll know Sunday. But y'all know I play defense. I love defense. I'm taking Ramsey in that battle.
Ramsey won't get him. I'm 100% confident. Ramsey will not get him.
I think this is going to be a really intriguing matchup. Obviously a great game. Rams playing in their home stadium. It's going to be a really fun one. The Super Bowl is always great. Y'all want to give your score predictions for the game? Alec?
Trying to think of what a good score would be for this game. Bengals obviously going to win. 24-17.
And why? What are the big parts of why the Bengals get the win, you think?
Jamar Chase, 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
All right.
That's it.
And then containing Kupp, I'm assuming, and all those things.
Well, yeah, but Jamar Chase, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Ramsey gets exposed.
Yes.
That's it.
Sorry, Adam. He's going to.
I'll go next, Riley, since you're the Bengals fan. We'll save you for last. Like I said earlier, if you look at this game on paper, the Rams are the better team. They got the better defense, and defense wins championships. But the Bengals are a legit team. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than maybe what some people are thinking. It's hard to predict a score, I feel like. I'm going to say 35-28 Rams in a close one. I think Cooper Kupp goes off. He's going to have a great game. Stafford's going to have a great game. But I think the Rams defense is going to win this game. They're going to get to Burrow. I think they're going to make him uncomfortable just one or two, couple more times than he wants to, and could make a bad pass. bad decision. And I think that leads to the Rams winning. This game's going to be won by the Rams defense.
All right. Honestly, I 100% agree with you. I think what you just said is 100% correct. And I agree with your score prediction for the Rams. But I'm not going to go with it. I'm going to go lower scoring than both of y'all. I'm going to go 17-13 Bengals. And we don't need to win it with McPherson this game. But I think our defense is going to contain them a lot better than people think. This shouldn't happen. It should not happen. But I think it's going to happen.
That's a bold prediction. That's a pretty low-scoring Super Bowl.
Yep. This is the first time I think the Bengals will win the playoff game since the playoffs started.
Wow, you're pretty confident in that.
Yeah. Then again, I was confident that we were going to lose to the Titans. So,
and I can honestly say this is the first Super Bowl that I can remember that I am totally fine with either team winning.
Whoever wins. I respect Matthew Stafford. So
now my heart's telling me that the Rams are going to win, and that's why I'm saying that. But I'm not rooting against the Bengals. I'm just rooting for a great game. It's going to be a fun one to watch.
I see why. Yep. You can't not like Matthew Stafford and what he's done after playing for the Lions all those years. So
that crazy stat of with the Lions, he was 0-3 in playoff games in his whole 10 years there, however long it was. And now in one season, he's won 3 playoff games with the Rams. That's incredible.
Great QB. Time wasted.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So as we wrap up here, any of y'all got any closing statements or anything about how the game's going to go Sunday?
Oh, it'll be a hard game. Everything you said is probably accurate from what should happen. But this whole playoff situation has been what shouldn't happen. So that's all I got. And Ramsey, nah. No.
Alec, you got anything else?
No, except for Jamar Chase, 150 and 2 touchdowns.
All right. He's going to die. He's going to die on that statement, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who day?
Who day? Well, again, thank you so much, Riley, for coming on. It's been a blast getting to talk about your team and the incredible season they've had. It's going to be an exciting game to watch this Sunday between the Bengals and the Rams in the Super Bowl. I hate it that football is about to end, but what better way for it to end than a crazy game in the Super Bowl that we all expect to happen?
This is the longest my football season has ever lasted, so I'm pretty satisfied.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome, man. I got to tell you congrats, man, because I've never seen my team make it this far. So I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. And, hopefully they win it all for you, man. All right. This is Talking Sports podcast with Adam and Alec. This is episode 21. Thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe to our podcast. We'll see y'all next week as we recap the Super Bowl.